The image of the ninja, a shadowy figure clad in black scaling walls and disappearing into the night, has become a fixture in popular culture. However, the true history of ninjas, or shinobi as they were known in Japan, is far more complex. Ninjas were not a monolithic or formally organized group, but rather individuals and clans who specialized in espionage, guerrilla warfare, and unconventional tactics during Japan's feudal era. Their origins are rooted in the turbulent periods of Japanese history, and their evolution was shaped by the shifting demands of warfare, politics, and social structure. The origins of ninjas can be traced back to the Heian period, 794–1185, and the subsequent Kamakura period, 1185–1333. During these times, Japan was a patchwork of rival clans and feudal lords, often engaged in power struggles. The samurai class was rising to prominence, but not all conflicts could be resolved through open warfare. The need for espionage, intelligence gathering, and assassination began to grow, laying the groundwork for what would later be recognized as ninjutsu, the art of the ninja. The early precursors to ninjas were often samurai, or individuals who did not fit within the rigid samurai code, bushido. They engaged in clandestine activities, such as spying on rival clans or assassinating key figures. The skills and tactics that would come to define ninjutsu were employed during this period, though they were not yet systematized or widely recognized. The Muromachi period, marked by the Ashikaga shogunate's rule and the onset of the Sengoku period, Warring States period, was a time of continuous military conflict and political instability. This era saw the formalization of ninjutsu and the rise of specific regions, particularly Iga and Kōga, as the centers of ninja activity. The Iga province, in present-day Mie Prefecture, and the Kōga region, in present-day Shiga Prefecture, became synonymous with ninjas due to their geographical isolation and the unique socio-political environment. These areas were mountainous and difficult to access, making them natural strongholds for those who wished to operate outside the control of central authorities. The inhabitants of Iga and Kōga developed their own martial arts, blending Chinese military tactics with indigenous Japanese techniques. Over time, these practices coalesced into what became known as ninjutsu. The local warrior families, often referred to as jisamurai, local samurai, formed loose networks of independent clans that practiced and passed down these techniques. These clans engaged in espionage, sabotage, and assassination for various feudal lords, becoming highly sought after during the Sengoku period. The Sengoku period, 1467–1603, was characterized by constant warfare among Japan's feudal lords, each vying for power and territory. During this chaotic time, ninjas were employed by various lords for tasks that conventional samurai could not perform, such as infiltrating enemy castles, gathering intelligence, and eliminating key figures. Ninjas from Iga and Kōga were particularly renowned for their skills. They were often hired as mercenaries, and their services were sought by many of the era's most powerful figures, including Oda Nobunaga, Tokugawa Ieyasu, and Takeda Shingen. Their ability to move unnoticed through enemy territories, sabotage supply lines, and conduct psychological warfare made them invaluable assets in the complex and dangerous world of Sengoku politics. The Azuchi Momoyama period, named after the castles of Oda Nobunaga Azuchi and Toyotomi Hideyoshi Momoyama, marked the peak of ninja activity as well as the beginning of their decline. This era saw the unification of Japan under Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, and later Tokugawa Ieyasu, which gradually diminished the need for the services that ninjas provided. Oda Nobunaga, who sought to unify Japan, recognized the threat posed by independent ninja clans. In 1579, he launched a campaign to destroy the Iga province, known as the Tensho-Iga War. Despite the fierce resistance from the Iga ninja, Nobunaga's forces, and Hideyoshi as one of his generals, overwhelmed them with superior numbers and firepower. Many Iga ninjas were killed, while others fled to neighboring regions or sought refuge with sympathetic daimyo. Some, like Hattori Hanzo, entered the service of powerful lords such as Tokugawa Ieyasu. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who would go on to establish the Tokugawa shogunate, was perhaps the most famous patron of the ninjas. He employed many former Iga and Kōga ninjas, integrating them into his personal guard and using their skills in intelligence and security. With the unification of Japan under the Tokugawa shogunate, the country entered the Edo period, a time of relative peace and stability. The centralized government reduced the need for the kind of warfare in which ninjas had thrived. As a result, the ninja's role evolved from that of a covert operative engaged in warfare to one more focused on intelligence gathering and security. Many former ninjas took on roles as police officers, bodyguards, or spies for the Tokugawa government. The skills that had once been used in warfare were now employed in maintaining internal security, particularly in the surveillance of potential rebels and criminals. Although they were effective in these roles, their activities were far less dramatic than in the past. As Japan became more peaceful, the need for ninjas continued to decline. Over time, many ninja families assimilated into the general samurai class or took up other professions. The secrecy surrounding ninjutsu meant that much of their knowledge was passed down in small, tightly knit groups or was lost altogether. By the late Edo period and into the Meiji Restoration, 1868, the ninja had largely faded from the historical stage. However, their legacy lived on in the form of folklore, kabuki theater, and later, modern media. The romanticized image of the ninja as a mysterious and deadly figure was solidified during this time, blending historical reality with myth and legend. In the 20th century, books, films, and television shows depicted ninjas as master assassins, often exaggerating their abilities to almost supernatural levels. While these portrayals often bore little resemblance to the historical reality, they ensured that the figure of the ninja would remain a prominent part of popular culture. Join us next time as we try to compare ninjutsu to the Bushido warrior code. As always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future projects. Thanks for watching.